what would make this season even more interesting? The sporting news.
Okay. Respectable periodical.
They write an article. Sean LaBar. Aaron Rodgers predicted to sign with the Miami Dolphins with uncertainty surrounding Tua Tagovailoa.
Time out.
This is a real article.
Time out. Wait, you said the sporting news, right?
Yes, this is the sporting news.
Okay.
And it's Sean LaBar. Aaron Rodgers predicted to sign with the Miami Dolphins with uncertainty. I don't know the uncertainty surrounding Tua Tagovailoa. He's got his money, and he's going to be our starting quarterback. Okay, we'll get into the article first, though. Vlad, I'm going to ask you a very basic question. Is that the answer? If Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel want to save their job for at least one more year, because it's only a one-year thing, would they benefit by signing Aaron Rodgers? You had him last year with the Jets. And not Vlad. They had a terrible season, but then again, they had They had more one-possession losses than anybody.
Oh, no. Oh, hell no. This is what I love about this rivalry to Miami, New York.
We do love your leftovers.
You love our leftovers, and then all of a sudden, those leftovers that were ripped when they were on our team, it's all of a sudden, we can change them. Fam, you did have two good games against you guys. I don't know if
this is the answer. Now, once again, I mean, if you want to look at the silver lining, you guys lost a ton of one-possession games last year.
Okay.
A couple of bounces of the ball, you would have been a playoff team. With that being said,
wait.
Absolutely terrible season.
Wait.
And not a great
We
year
were
for him.
5-12.
And the last one of the season
You
was
saying
against
a
the Dolphins
couple
team.
of bounces?
And the last one of the season was against the Dolphins team that was totally checked out, that had nothing to play for, and Tyreek Hill quit on the team. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't think this is happening.
Well, let's read this article. The Miami Dolphins
Wait a minute. You're going to sign Aaron Rodgers and have Zach Wilson as well?
But why not make the Jets? Can we hire Robert Saleh? Let's go. Why not?
Just get Jeff Ulbrich to be the defensive coordinator so his son could start prank calling people.
This is what I like. Jets have been a hot mess for 15 years.
What are we doing
Let's
here?
be more like them.
I can't believe this guy.
Miami Dolphins have to make the playoffs. They do. At the end of the 2025 regular season, our ownership will clean house. I don't know if that's 100% accurate. Fire Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier. AFC East squad will start over from scratch. Okay.
And I love it right now. Look at you guys. Heat cult. Rodgers was just throwing arrows to DK Metcalf last week. Soldier of God. I would take Aaron Rodgers over Tua always injured, shrinks in big moments of big games, and can't play in cold weather 8 days a week. So he'll take Aaron Rodgers over Tua 8 days a week. Wow. All of a sudden now, this is crazy.
With so much uncertainty surrounding Tagovailoa, considering his history with injuries, Bleacher Reports, now we're getting Bleacher Report in there, Mitchell Milani threw out a wild prediction that would send the NFL in a frenzy. Milani predicts the Dolphins as a potential landing spot for free agent QB Aaron Rodgers, saying Tua Tagovailoa is the most injured and frequently unreliable quarterback in football. Aaron Rodgers could fill in and ride with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and retire in Florida.
Now, you know what the funniest part in all of this was? That last statement he said.
Oh, yeah, because it's a one-year deal.
No. It's not even Tua is the most injured and frequently unreliable quarterback in football. It's just that Aaron Rodgers could fill in, ride with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, and retire in Florida.
Call me crazy.
As if, because he's old and he's already going to be in the state of Florida, he might as well just play and then just easily go to Century Village.
Call me crazy.
No, he's not doing that.
If there was anyone that could reel in Tyreek Hill, Aaron Rodgers would be the guy. Am I right? Although Calais Campbell,
Ayo fam. Let me tell you this right now. I'm gonna tell you this right
couldn't,
now.
So maybe not.
Let me break it down for you guys. All right. If Aaron Rodgers still wants to play football, he probably wants to play on a team where he has a final say in everything.
You think?
Yes. And
that was rhetorical.
I know. So therefore, if Aaron Rodgers comes in here, Aaron Rodgers is taking over this franchise. It's not Chris Grier, and it's definitely not Mike McDaniel. And it would also prove even more the status of what's going. I mean, it'll prove more that there's no leader in that organization
say,
right now.
Great question, Vlad, for Dolphins fans, including myself. Who do you trust more, Chris Grier or Aaron Rodgers?
How about neither?
That's a little bit of a talk, but that's bad, Vlad.
But that's
you might trust Aaron Rodgers more than your general manager.
No.
I'm sorry. That's weird.
That's crazy. No, because here's the thing: they're not listening to your coach. Nobody and they're not respecting your general manager. So you're gonna bring this guy in, and come on, and ladies and gentlemen, that's crazy and stupid. They just gave that man 5 years,
$214 million.
He's your quarterback.
With that being said, 4 years extension, $214 million. There is no way you're going to tell Tua Tagovailoa, yo, man, we need to win this year.
And really?
You're still going to make your money. You sit. We're going to let Aaron Rodgers come in.
And Aaron Rodgers, who hasn't learned a new offense in over probably 20 years, you think he's going to come in and want to work the Mike McDaniel offense? I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a lot of teams that could use Aaron Rodgers or have a feeling that they could use him. But guess what? You know why they won't work? Because those teams have strong head coaches. Mike Tomlin ain't putting up with that ayahuasca BS.
Might have to.
I might. But you start talking all that craziness. No, Mike Tomlin's not going to let.
You keep bringing up very good points. You know how when Mike McDaniel usually speaks in press conferences, we all zone out and don't listen?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a room with Tyreek Hill and Aaron Rodgers. Is there any way in hell they're going to listen to Mike McDaniel? No way.
Well, they might listen to Aaron. If Aaron says no.
I said, are they going to listen to Mike McDaniel?
No, Mike McDaniel's not going to.
Aaron Rodgers like,
fam, they stopped listening to Robert Saleh. And I thought Saleh was creating something.
Not a bad coach.
He wasn't the best coach, but he was a good defensive.
He's a great defensive
But guess what? Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this.
Aaron Rodgers, what?
This is the same. The only way I can use this, the only way I can describe it and explain to you guys is with this example. See, the Miami Dolphins, in their franchise history, they've had dime pieces as quarterbacks. They've had dimes as quarterback. Marino, perfect 10, dime, right? You've had Greasy, dime. You know who? Jets have only had one dime in their whole entire life.
Joe Namath?
Joe Willie Namath. Yeah. That was it. So when we had a chance to get a dime quarterback, even though
your dime is on
he was a mature dime. He was a little bit older.
Yeah.
But we said, oh no, yeah, they could. You know what? Botox. They could hide everything. They could hide the flaws. And he hid the flaws. But we were so desperate, we wanted him. And guess what happened? It didn't work out that way. It didn't work out well. So you think teams that have that Miami
Aaron
Dolphins
Rodgers is not playing for the Dolphins. There's no way because
Miami Dolphins cannot do that. That would be such an asinine move that you would have to. I couldn't go another day in this station if people were not asking for Chris Grier's job.
As Dolphins fans, would you even want Aaron Rodgers, even if he plays for a veteran minimum? I don't even know if you want that. It's just too much. And I know who cares about Tua's feelings. He got paid. I'm not worried about Tua's feelings, but does he make your team better?
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, you have to ask the question. Then that you need to ask yourself this question: is Aaron Rodgers at his age better than Tua at his age?
I'll say no.
Okay, so then if you guys were saying that for the past couple of seasons when the Dolphins were facing the Jets and he was in the Jets uniform, why would anybody start changing that thinking all of a sudden now because he's a free agent and the Dolphins have interest?
The only team over the past decade that has been worse than you in the division is the New York Jets. You probably shouldn't try to emulate them.
Yeah, y'all emulate us a lot, man. I love our second hands.
Let's not emulate the Jets.
I loved our second hands. Huh?
Let's not do that.
Hey,
Aaron Rodgers.
How's Mikey Blanco doing?
He's probably on the practice squad with the Bills.
How's Tim Boyle?
He's pumping gas right now, probably on 441.
Jeez. Where? At that Hess?
I'll never forget that Tim Boyle pass with the game on the line.
Fourth down against the Colts?
You and I are sitting there like, well, let's see what happens. He hit a cameraman.
I didn't even know I was like, yo, did he hit
it? I think they threw a flag. I was like, no, that was a real play. That was a live play. It was so nonchalant.
It was so bad. It didn't look like the play was actually.
I think you asked me. You go, Dan. They blew a whistle.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I said because I was like,
no,
wait,
no.
Because dude, who was the receiver? Was it Jalen?
Tyreek Hill was like 10 yards.
Oh no, it was Tyreek, right?
Yeah, it was 10 yards down the field.
I was like, wait, did they blow? Yo, That pass
The boom mic operator had to dodge a fastball. It wasn't a fastball.
No chance of making it.
It was 10 yards out of bounds. The boom mic operator had to run away so he didn't get hit by that wailing duck that was flying towards him. And when I say flying, I use that term very loosely because it wasn't a bullet. I'll never forget that. And if I ever meet Tim Boyle, I probably won't say anything, but I'll probably, in my mind, that's the one thing that I'll remember. Not him throwing that interception at the end of the half against the Dolphins on Black Friday where Javon Holland returned it for a touchdown, 100 yards. Won't remember that. I will remember that terrible pass that he threw that hit a boom mic operator instead of Tyreek Hill, who was 10 yards down the field. Instead, he threw it 10 yards out of bounds.
So clearly, the backup quarterback situation is bad. But this is what's bad about, right?
Could have drafted Shedeur Sanders.
Okay, so that was I'm happy you brought that up. I don't mind you signing Zach. I don't mind the Zach Wilson signing. But if you really want to look into your future and think about, what happens if number one gets hurt and it's a bad one and he can't come back?
Let's just say this.
Shouldn't you draft a quarterback in the third, fourth round, not wait to the seventh round for some Quinn Ewers?
Oh, no, we got Quinn Ewers now, man. Dan Marino 2.0, as they say.
When Dan Marino was in Ace Ventura?
I do want to say this. Shedeur Sanders could have taken him fourth or fifth round. Of course, you didn't have a fourth round or third round pick, but let's say you take him in the fifth round. Would you, as a Dolphins fan, be more excited about Shedeur Sanders in the fifth round or Jordan Phillips, defensive tackle from Maryland, in the fifth round?
Is that again?
I could be making that name up also, by the way. Once again, if you're listening at home or playing along at home.
Say that again?
Jordan Phillips.
Okay, what about Jordan Phillips?
Would you rather be more excited about a Shedeur Sanders draft in the fifth round?
In the fifth round?
In the fifth.
Oh, absolutely.
Or Jordan Phillips, a defensive tackle from Maryland.
Absolutely Shedeur, because I would think after what I saw over 4 years, I would think if you had a quarterback like that in the first round and he had to play and he produced, you would think you have the ultimate steal. You got away with the biggest heist in the NFL because you got a quarterback who many people thought should have been selected in the first round. You get him in the fifth round and he's set up to help you in the future.
Don't let me stop our fifth round picks because we had 3 of them. What about Jason Marshall Jr., cornerback from Florida, or Shedeur Sanders? Oh, don't let me stop you there. Of course, I know Shedeur probably could, but you could have moved up. Dante Trader Jr., safety from Maryland. None of those picks. Nope. No need.
Nah.
And, you could have probably gotten Shedeur Sanders for what? $1 million? Instead, you're paying Zach Wilson $6 million? And I don't know how Aaron Rodgers figures into all this.
That's crazy because you're right. Sean LaBour, it's on
it's there.
Sporting News, MSN. Like you're not making this up. Like this would be crazy. Like if the thing about it is, I can't believe. You know why I'm upset with this whole situation? See, when Aaron was let go by Green Bay, he let you know from the jump, if I'm playing, I'm interested in the Jets. You know what I'm saying?
He wanted to be a Jet.
He wanted to be a Jet. He let you know, and pretty much the Jets knew that he was going to come there. So that's why.
He's actually a good teammate.
And he left, and he made the announcement the week of I think it was the day of the draft that year.
Yeah, he likes to steal thunder.
He wanted to steal thunder. So that's why I thought he was going to make a decision this year during the draft.
Didn't do it.
He didn't do it. I mean, the Shedeur Sanders was the whole story.
I don't know what the market looks like for old Aaron Rodgers.
No, there is a market. There's 3 teams that would take Aaron Rodgers right now.
The Steelers need him.
Steelers need him. Minnesota will double back. Don't think they're not. Yeah,
their coach can make anybody great, it seems like.
And I still think his dream is still to go back to his hometown team, the Niners.
He wants the Niners.
Because they still haven't given Brock Purdy.
They took care of George Kittle, but they
did take care of George Kittle, but they still haven't taken care of Brock Purdy. And this is a big year for the Niners because I just thought out John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. They're about to get on the foreman soon.
Yeah, I'm just throwing it out there. There is whispers, although very light, that Aaron Rodgers could end up here in Miami.
That is hysterical. If that happens, I'm going to laugh my black ass off. Literally, you'll see right there on 83rd Street. You're gonna see, oh, what's that? A black ass off. Yeah, that's what is gonna happen because I am gonna laugh. And you know who I'm gonna go directly at? One Leroy Horde. Because I'm gonna see how he's gonna. I'm gonna see. Oh, Leroy, you were running back. Let me see your cornerback now. Backpedaling what you were saying about Aaron. Now that he's a Dolphin.
I'm going to laugh my black ass off. My
Well,
sentiments exactly.